There are certain watches that I've been really looking forward to getting in the hand after first seeing them on the internet many months ago. This RZE Yellow Endeavour is one of those watches. You see, RZE has sent this watch out to the channel for us to review. We don't have to send it back, and now after experiencing it on the wrist for a while and in the watch box amongst other watches that I own, I can tell you with all assurity, this watch does not deserve a review. Stick around and I'll explain why. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So as you can see here, we've got the RZE. This is the Endeavour. It's the yellow or mustardy sort of a version. I love this watch. When I saw it on the internet, I saw it on their literature website. I saw a couple of reviews myself and I fell in love with it. I thought, I really like the color, the matte gray and the mustard yellow. You really can't go wrong. And I had to get it on the channel. I actually asked Travis and he goes, mate, I'll send you one out. Now that it's here, I said in the intro that, look, this watch does not deserve a review. And you know what? It deserves a lot more than a review. And the reason I say that is because, I tell you what, guys, I've got expensive watches in my collections. I've got different varieties, different range. And when you get an affordable watch, an affordable micro brand like this, that it's fun, it's really well executed, it's strong, it's robust, it just does the job that it's intended to do. It really is. It's one of those watches that I look down. I've put this in the watch box on purpose. I put it in amongst my collection and have a look at it, and it's my eye just goes straight to it. It's just drawing me in. It's got such a visual appeal, such a beautiful look on that mustard and grey. It really just looks great. And when I say it doesn't deserve a review, it deserves a lot more. It just deserves a lot more. It's a wonderful looking piece, guys, and it's affordable. It's inexpensive. I'm trying to find faults with this watch. There are a couple. In fact, this watch fell off my wrist. I had it on the wrist. I was doing a photo shoot 3 days ago. It fell off my wrist. It basically bounced off my knee, and I caught it on my foot. The next thing would have been hard concrete, and I nearly smashed it. It's the second time it's happened. Not the first time with this watch, and another time with this watch. I've already almost banged this up with a shovel. I've explained in the review. I love this watch for what it is, for what it offers. I smashed it with a shovel. There's no marks on it, obviously with their ultra hex coatings and stuff. And look, this fell off my wrist, and so did this. And the reason they both fell off my wrist is because they both have the same problem. And call it a problem, I'll show you what it is. Basically, this watch comes with, as you can see here, screw pins. And I love screw pins, but this particular one being a titanium bracelet, and I believe these are titanium screws, for some reason they don't adhere the same way as a stainless steel screw would on a stainless steel bracelet. And maybe through vibrations, maybe through my activities through the day, the screws have come off. One of the screws down here basically unthreaded itself, came off, and the watch literally just slipped off my hand. It was like slow motion, and it happened on both watches, guys. You see, they sent me this watch to review a little while ago. I reviewed it, I loved it, but they had sent it on their blue strap, and I actually contacted Travis and said, look, I'd like to purchase the titanium bracelet. So I did. I purchased it, I put it on, sized it, everything perfect. But after a couple of weeks, it fell off my wrist, and it didn't actually fall, it slipped off, and I thought, oh, look at this, one of the screws came loose. Now, I didn't think much of it at the time. I thought, yeah, I probably didn't tighten it up. So when this came in, and the same thing happened, I thought, hang on, there's a common denominator here, guys. It can't be me. I tighten my screws. I know what I'm doing. So, and I make sure that everything's fast and secure. I've had watches for many years. I've never had an issue like this. And I believe it comes down to this Loctite. These watches don't have Loctite in their screws, and I think that's one thing that they, especially titanium, maybe it's the way that they adhere to each other, they seem to come off quite quite easily. That's been my experience. So yeah, this is not a Loctite commercial, guys. I'm not promoting the brand, but I went to Bunnings and I went and purchased this, put them on the actual on the screws. I've not had an issue since. So you know, that's one thing that I neglect on screw pins. I know screw pins are fantastic. Yeah, they're brilliant because they're a lot easier to take off, a lot stronger than your standard push-pull, split pins, or you know, pin and collar. But that's something that to note, that with titanium, for some reason, both this and this watch seem to have come loose when I've never had that sort of experience with stainless steel. So that's something to note, but not a deal breaker. It really isn't. You know, for a $10 bottle of Loctite, you can fix that problem. And that's something that I wanted to address with you guys. But I said at the intro that this watch doesn't deserve a review. It deserves a lot more. You know what, guys? The way that this watch makes me feel, it's great. It really is. It's fantastic. It should be priced a lot higher. And I know it's not because of the hardware of what it offers, as far as, you know, having an NH35 movement. It's really not that expensive to produce a watch like this. But the way that this thing's executed, the way it makes me feel is great. It's something that in the hand, on the wrist, even in the watch box, it just gives you a particular feeling that I like this. I like this. And I've been around watches long enough to know that when you have that feeling with a particular watch, it's long term. And it's not an expensive watch, so that's surprised me. It really has, guys. I think it's got to do with the color. I love vibrant, strong colors, and I just think they nailed it. They really did. The matte gray and that mustardy yellow, it just, for me, you know, being in the arts industry of photography, it speaks to me. It really does. So, but I believe they're sold out. The no date version is sold out on this particular watch, and that's the watch that I actually wanted. And Travis emailed me and said, "Look, Pete, they're sold out. I was going to send you one. I'm sorry." I go, "That's fine. I don't know. Maybe send me a white one," I said, "or send me a blue one. What can I say?" And he goes, "Look, we do have the date version." I go, "What? You've got the date version, mate? What are you waiting for? Send it out." So this is the color I wanted. I'm really happy I got it. And to be honest, the date, you see, this is a slightly different review, guys. There's plenty of reviews of this watch on the internet. This is a slightly different talk back from me to you guys to tell you what I'm experiencing from this. You know, there is a couple of negatives. Like I said, one of them is that those screw pins that need to be addressed. I will touch on a couple more, but I'm sharing stuff that I'm getting from this watch that I'm really enjoying, and I want to give that feedback to you guys. So the date wheel itself, the date complication, as you can see at the 3 o'clock, it's nicely framed. They've matched up the same color. And initially when I saw it, when I unboxed this, I looked at it and I thought, you know, should it have been white? You know, I know that they did that with the blue version that they sent, the Resolute blue, and it's very subtle here. You can barely tell it's the same color. It's so dark, it's almost black, so it sort of blends in. But with this one here, it stands out. And initially when I saw it, there was a question mark, and now after having it for a while and actually using it and wearing it, it's, you know what, this is not a serious watch. It's a fun watch, but it's a really cool watch, and I like that they've done that. You know, I take my hat off to the guys, the team there. They've done a great job on this. Really well done. So it's grown on me. You know, look, I will run through the specs just really briefly. Basically, we've got a 40.5 millimeter case diameter, or I actually measure from that point there to that point there, without the excessive part here, 39.8. So it's around the 40.5 mil mark. The case height comes in at 12.4 millimeters, where the original, the Resolute, this particular one here, came in at 11.4. So there's a full millimeter difference in height from this watch to this watch. And this one here, the Endeavour, is a 200 meters water resistant, so it's a diver. It's a specific diver. It's designed for diving. So the lug to lug distance comes in at exactly 46 mil, and the lug width at 20. So like I said, the bracelet, you know, it's got a beautiful taper from what is it, from 20 mil down to 15.9. The clasp itself comes in at 18.2 mil, and then it tapers back up to 20 at the lug. So a nice watch, a lovely experience on the wrist. The total weight comes in at 99 grams. The Resolute, which I really enjoyed on the wrist, is 93 grams, exactly sized to my 7-inch wrist. So the same bracelets, they're interchangeable with each other, pretty much the same watch head, very close to specs. It almost mimics each other. The main difference is, like I said, the thickness, 1 millimeter thicker, and obviously you've got a diving bezel on this one here. So now getting onto that bezel, it's a 120 click unidirectional bezel. So have a look at this. Nice, good action. Very minimal playback there. So it's lovely. It's very toolish, and again, this is titanium, so it's a different feel from stainless steel. It's I can't say it's not smooth, it's not crisp in that form. It's more dulled, like a dull feeling, but an enjoyable feeling, because you know that it's titanium. You know it's a different material, so obviously it's going to have its own, you know, characteristic there. And accuracy wise, lines up perfect. Brilliant. So everything seems to just click in nicely, which I like about that. Very toolish. Screw down crown, 200 meters water resistance, very buttery smooth, just like the Resolute. Beautiful. Hack the movement, adjust your time. Everything functions as it should. Great on the time grapher as well, no problems, and buttery smooth latch down. So a really good experience, guys. I've enjoyed wearing this watch. I've enjoyed it because of its color as well, and people are drawn to this. You know, a lot of watch people that I hang around with or associate with, they've been looking, oh, what do you got on the wrist? You know, they might have a Rolex on theirs, and they've been looking at this because it does grab your attention. I think it's a really nice color. But the sapphire crystal on this, it's a flat sapphire with AR coating, and look, I've really had no issues with it. It maybe could have benefited from an extra layer of AR on it. That would have been nice. But you know, maybe 1 or 2 layers. But again, it seems to be quite legible. It doesn't fully wash out. As you can see, I've got it there towards the light source. It's not fully washing out, so I think it's doing a good job. Look, guys, honestly, strong, robust. The lume is lovely. The lume is great on this. It lasts and lasts and lasts. So, you know, I think they've done a really good job on this particular watch. But for the price, I'm getting feelings that I'm getting from much more expensive watches in my collection, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that. That's what I really wanted to share with these guys. As far as, like I said, as far as a review, there's plenty of these watches out on the internet. There's plenty of these reviews online coming from a more emotive sort of a feeling. This is really ticking the boxes. This is really the tick in the boxes. So the negative wise, yeah, the screws really need to be addressed. I don't think that's something that the factory or the manufacturer can address, because when you get the watch and you size it up to your individual wrist, that last screw that you size up, you're going to have to put Loctite on it. You really have, you know, you have to put something like this on it so that it does maintain, you know, its strength, and it doesn't come, you know, with vibrations. It doesn't loosen up only when you want it to loosen up. So, but I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's man, this is cool. This is really cool. It's just the way it wears, the way it feels. Thoroughly enjoying it. Didn't expect to be, you know, gobsmacked, as they say, by that mustardy yellow and that matte grey. It really is that nice in the flesh. It's just stunning, guys. You know, if it suits a loud personality, I have a loud personality, so it really suits my lifestyle. I'm not even going to bother changing out straps and putting this on leather or, you know, NATOs or what have you. The bracelet, the H-Link bracelet, seems to be ideal. That's why I bought this. That's why I actually purchased the H-Link on this. I wanted to see what this feels like, and you know what, it really does the job well. This has been a joy, pleasure, and this has been a joy. And I'll share one more thing with you guys. If you notice that, I purposely wore this watch whilst building a fence. You know, we're in lockdown. We're in stage 5, you know, our 5th lockdown here in Melbourne, Australia, and it's been really difficult for us, guys. I've wanted to get some tradies here at my place to build a fence, a retaining wall and a fence, and I've called and over the period of a month and a half, nobody would come and quote me. Nobody. Everyone's busy. All the tradies are busy. So I decided to build it myself, and in doing, you know, that's the war marks, or the battle scars, as they say. But I wore this purposely on the wrist whilst building the actual fence. And you know what, I knocked it about here and there. The watch has survived. The watch has got no real marks on it anywhere. The case back has got a couple, I don't know if you can see, there you go, the case back's got a couple of marks on it. Now whether they have their ultra hex coating on the back of this, I don't know, but the rest of the case, bezel, crown, bracelet, brilliant, no issue. So I don't think I gave you guys a wrist shot. I'll do that before we finish it. Like I said, this is an unofficial review. I wanted to approach it a different way. There you go, look at that. That is such a pleasure and such a joy on the wrist, guys. You know, the lug to lug distance of 46 mil is brilliant. The case height, cool, you know, for a dive watch, 12.4 mil, really comfortable experience. I'm enjoying this watch. I really am enjoying this watch. So, you know, this just goes to prove you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to get a good feeling, or, you know, I'm getting this from this particular watch, and I really wanted to share that across in this video. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I mean, we're hobbyists, we're enthusiasts, we're collectors, and this thing here, with the micro brands, with all the watches that get sent out to this channel, the majority, guys, I put them aside. Yeah, and I do giveaways from, you know, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. We just had a 15,000. 20,000 subscribers is coming up next. So I give away a couple of watches every now and then. That's what I do with these things. But every now and then I might put one or two in my collection, and this is one that's going to stay. And for those who wanted to get this, I'm sorry, it's mine. But yeah, again, guys, I'm just being, you know, really transparent and trying to show you guys how I feel about this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me your comments what you think about this watch, what you think about the company. I think they're on a winner. I think they're really on a winner with the design. The design language is really good. The overall fit finish is fantastic. There's not really much I can say bad about watches like this, because you're not paying a great deal of money, but you are getting a really good experience. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.